case from 3 years ago regarding a man smuggling weapons into Mandalay Bay is coming to light as part of the negligence lawsuit filed against a hotel following the 1 October shooting.
Well, several victims and attorneys' stories are now significant information to help fight the case that the hotel could have done more to protect the thousands of concert goers.
And we have more now live from Mandalay Bay. We go to Gina Lazara, who has the very latest. And Gina, I know you spoke with an attorney.
Yeah, that's right, guys. In this case from 3 years ago, a housekeeper walked into a hotel room on the 24th floor of Mandalay Bay. That's where she found the weapons. Court documents say one of the rifles was actually pointed at the strip. It sounds eerily similar to Stephen Paddock's situation up on the 32nd floor, just to a much lesser degree. This is the man, Kye Dunbar, serving time in a Texas prison right now after pleading guilty in the case. What attorney Robert Eglett is trying to prove in his case against the hotel is this incident 3 years ago gave hotel management plenty of time to make the changes they needed to before 1 October to maybe prevent that tragedy from even happening. He says it's called foreseeability.
It clearly would have put them on notice that they need to improve their security measures to prevent patrons from being able to bring firearms up into their room. I mean, they have notices all over the hotel that firearms are not allowed in their hotel.
Back out here live, we did reach out to MGM about this being a part of the lawsuit, but ultimately they told us they have no comment. Reporting live, Gina Lazara, 13 Action News.
What's that mean?
That's emergency operations control. It's not triage. That's control center. That means the highest of the highest, they're there. That means that's the safest place, right? You never put a fire chief anywhere that can
Is there anyone in this goddamn hotel right now? Is there a fucking threat in this goddamn hotel?
I don't think anyone knows that.
I just walked in here.
We don't need to hear your acronyms or anything else.
It's okay.
I'm sorry. Let's get down to the down and dirty.
You're okay, babe. You're okay.
All I'm telling you
Is
EOC would never put themselves within miles of a situation.
Right.
So as long as there's ambulances, paramedics sitting out there and all the fucking way over there, there's no way. A paramedic never goes anywhere without a cop present if there's a situation, right? They don't go fucking anywhere to put themselves in danger. A firefighter does not go into a shooting threat, right? Police do that. That's what police are for. Fire trucks don't do that. Ambulances don't do that. So if you see ambulances here and the cops are not controlling the walkways to this hotel, to Excalibur, I think you're fucking okay right now, right?
He just walked in here to come get us on the roof.
We went from the concert where people were hit to MGM to Excalibur over to here to get them, and then we were just gonna go back to Excalibur up to our room. Lock yourself in your room is a good place to be. Ain't no terrorist gonna go find you in your fucking 2218 room or whatever.
How do you feel about this specific room we're in right now?
I don't like it.
I need air. I need air.
No, honestly, I don't think there's any threat.
Supposedly the shooter was on the 29th floor of the Mandalay Bay shooter.
Which is on the other side of the strip.
There's a bunch of concrete here. It's kind of hard to hit, Sean.
Well,
What's going on downstairs?
75 cops.
Wait, so something's happening here in this
I
hotel?
mean, between
No.
He just walked in here from MGM.
So nothing's happening in this hotel?
Nothing is mass.
Okay, okay.
But he walked in here.
Okay. Who did?
Our friend to come get us
Got
off
it,
the
got
roof.
it, got it, okay.
They're not coming here to find out. They don't want me. Maybe they do.
Who are you?
That brings up, run down the strip.
In a Mandalay Bay hotel room 3 years before the October 1st mass shooting. 6 weapons were found inside Kye Dunbar's 24th floor room in November 2014. 4 were semi-automatic. 1 was a scoped rifle pointing toward the strip. Dunbar was sentenced to 40 months in federal prison for unlawful possession. The case just came to light in a lawsuit accusing Mandalay Bay of negligence in connection with the October 1st shooting.
This is the man, Kye Dunbar, who is serving time in a Texas prison right now after pleading guilty to unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon in his 2014 Mandalay Bay case. Court documents say a housekeeper found the weapons, 6 in total, a scoped rifle pointing towards the strip. And now the situation is coming to light after 58 people died on October 1st after Stephen Paddock managed to get his weapons into the same hotel.
All we have to do is establish that they had notice that something like this could happen. The term is called foreseeability.
Las Vegas attorney Robert Eglett is representing hundreds of victims in a negligence lawsuit against the hotel. And Eglett says this 2014 situation is strong evidence that Mandalay Bay and parent company MGM could have foreseen something like this happening.
We don't have to show that there was an exact event just like this that occurred in the past. All we have to show is that they were on notice that something like this could happen. The Dunbar situation shows, yeah, something like this could happen and you were aware of it.
Eglett feels Mandalay Bay should have taken some security measures after the Dunbar situation so that Paddock could not have gotten his weapons into his room on the 32nd floor just 3 years later.
We think this is significant. I'm sure MGM's trying to downplay it, but they know it's significant. They know that.
Right, guys, in this case from 3 years ago, a housekeeper walked into a hotel room on the 24th floor of Mandalay Bay. That's where she found the weapons. Court documents say one of the rifles was actually pointed at the Strip. It sounds eerily similar to Stephen Paddock's situation up on the 32nd floor, just to a much lesser degree. This is the man, Kye Dunbar, serving time in a Texas prison right now after pleading guilty in the case. What attorney Robert Eglett is trying to prove in his case against the hotel is this incident 3 years ago gave hotel management plenty of time to make the changes they needed to before 1 October to maybe prevent that tragedy from even happening. He says it's called foreseeability.
It clearly would have put them on notice that they need to improve their security measures to prevent patrons from being able to bring firearms up into their room. I mean, they have notices all over the hotel that firearms are not allowed in their hotel.
MGM attorneys asked the court for a declaration that says, among other things, that, quote, the Safety Act precludes any finding of liability against plaintiffs for any claim for injuries arising out of or related to Paddock's mass attack, end quote, and that the, quote, plaintiffs have no liability of any kind to defendants, end quote. MGM asserts that because event security company CSC is certified by the Department of Homeland Security, that the mass shooting falls under the Safety Act. In a statement, an MGM spokesperson told me, quote, Congress provided that the federal courts were the correct place for such litigation relating to incidents of mass violence like this one, where security services approved by the Department of Homeland Security were provided, end quote. Attorneys representing shooting victims disagree.
MGM is trying to beat these people to the courthouse and declare that they have no rights.
Craig Island represents several victims from Texas and says this is a continuation of a court battle over which courts should handle anything related to the shooting.
The proper venue for this is Nevada State Court, plain and simple, under the law.